Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account, and as you can see, the Dragon's Gift, and this is going to be, in my opinion, the final one that we're going to see of Hilduin for a majority of players. We have them at this point already up to that Ascended. Getting this free copy is, of course, going to take mine Ascended plus one copy, because we did get some free copies when it came to the massive summons that we did essentially when the Draconic Heroes were released. Now, in addition, we also do have Misha that is up. We're going to collect some rewards out of there. I want to run through a couple different things that we're seeing right now, including the chest we got today. Now, of course, Blessing of the East has been completed, which means we have this chest. So a lot of players were asking, is it worth getting one copy of land, or is it worth getting the 20 Draconic Insignias? Personally, what I would advise would be getting that copy of land, because when you start looking at the cost of these Draconic Heroes, it is roughly 50 to 65. Now, of course, I am using averages. It is roughly to 50 to 65 insignias to where we're seeing one single copy of these heroes just making their cost go through the roof, exponentially more expensive. So I am going to pick up this copy of land, and there we go. That is going to be my unlock. So now we do have access to all of the Draconic heroes. And I know, being a support hero, utility with the hero, of course, being built out a little bit further is going to perform better, but a base hero still does work well. And especially if you are earlier game, if you are early to AFK Arena, if you have the ability to get a free Draconic Highborn Dragon, you're getting a copy of land. You're also getting that copy of Hilduin as you're going in and making progression. Now, looking at the Draconic heroes itself, I also do need one more copy of Melion that will take him to Ascended, which means we have 5 Draconic heroes which are Ascended. Lucky for us, guys, it is the time that AFK Arena did the Celestial Isles. And of course, with the Celestial Isles, we have 475 of our runestones right here. So within this exchange store, and I do not recommend, I have to say that one more time, I do not recommend getting the Draconic hero out of here. Now, the reason why I am is because we are looking to build them out, and we already have a lot of heroes. We already have pretty much everyone in AFK Arena. Even coming resource-wise, we have a lot of resources, even though we can always use more. It is good to have the resources out of there. And of course, that means with that extra copy, that is going to take that hero up to the Ascended level, so allowing us to actually put some furniture on there based on the build. But again, that is another Ascended hero. Only one that we don't have at this point is, of course, Lan, and then we don't have Polina, just because we don't have the food with Gorgie. So we're going to get to a point where we have that food. We want 2 more copies of Melion. That way we can actually do the engraving on there. And then we also do want 2 more copies of Gwen, so we can do the exact same. So we can add the engraving on there. Now, of course, we want to make sure that all these heroes, including Lan, are added into our Resonating Crystal. And I was hoping I could hop in here. I knew there was a lot of stuff that we definitely needed to get through, but I'm going to drop that 1 copy of land. We can throw some gear on there. Melion is already in there. We also did put our new Wilder in there as well. So a lot of heroes going in there. And of course, Sanctuary going to give us, boom, another 10 points right there. This is another point where when you're building up this Sanctuary, the higher you build this, the better you can see that we're going to have in the more effectiveness of the Draconic heroes. Even looking at the Dragonforge trials, we finally got to go into the Dragonforge. That's right, we picked up the insignias. That is your #1 absolute priority, is picking up the insignias in their entirety. Once you have the insignias, then you can actually swap it over to build out or get some of your scrolls out of here to go ahead and build them. Now, of course, we are looking for copies of Gwen. Gwen, we need 2 more copies of Gwen to be able to actually put some engraving on her. And of course, the utility with the engraving is going to be very high. So fingers crossed, maybe this is going to be the time. And every single time that we do this, guys, is just a little bit closer to getting another copy. And unfortunately, it is not a copy today, again, of the Highborn hero. Now, of course, hitting up our Oaken, we're already up to another 3,000, but we want to hop into number 8. So essentially, number 8 is going to be our Draconic heroes. This is where, of course, we are adding our brand new hero, finally up to Ascended. And of course, it's going to make a big difference. It's going to make a big difference because when it comes to the Draconic heroes, this hero specifically with the support hero does have the ability to buff Draconic heroes. So one and the same, running this hero and running this hero with Gwen, with Hilduin, with Lan in there is going to make a big difference. We can do 2 more summons in here, which is going to give us another card. We could build it out. Now, I'm waiting to see what it's going to look like, or when we're getting a new Wilder hero. We know a new Wilder hero is going to be coming, but I'm actually going to utilize one of these to get the 3 of 9 furniture on here, because I also do have, and I could have just used the other one in my bag, but we also do have one more card that is currently in the bag. And then of course we're max, and then just building this up in its entirety. Look at that, 111, almost our second hero with the 36 furniture. So entirely maxed out. And then of course Milion does go to that 3 of 9 furniture. Gonna keep building these out, guys. It's kind of crazy. Even the Wilder hero that we just got, we are a few copies away, but that also allows us within the heroic ship. So we've talked about this before. When it comes to the heroic ship, you want to be building out these heroes, honestly, you know, pretty quick, because you get an absorbent amount of rewards for these heroes. Looking at our Twisted Essence, looking at our scrolls, looking at the free gear we get right there. And then of course, getting that animated avatar does make a big difference. Now looking right here at Raul, we did put some furniture on there, still building them out kind of little by little out of here. Then of course, we do have the Warden that we built out quite a bit, expensive bundles. And then I think we can, yeah, reach Ascended Tier. That is a very cool looking animated avatar. Of course, this one, we're not even close, but we just got the free copy of the first copy of Land. But that is really cool to get that animated avatar. I didn't even notice that it was sitting in there. But of course, we do have our little bird out here that we're hanging out with. Now, the Wilder hero. A lot of players, again, kind of questioning, is she going to have utility? Do we want to see her? Yes, of course. Look at this. The basic, even just unlocking the signature item. When an illusion is activated, paralyzes all enemy heroes for 2 seconds. That is a crowd control to everyone. When you think about the utility, when you think of the PvP aspect this hero possesses, every ult when that illusion comes up, and even there, guys, that is going to paralyze the enemies for 3 seconds. Then, of course, reduces the energy of paralyzed enemies by 50 every second. We know they're going to be paralyzed for 3 seconds, which is going to yield you the ability to essentially nullify all of the energy, reduces the energy of paralyzed enemies by 100 every second. There is going to be a 3-second paralyze, which means 300 energy is going to be coming off of those heroes. Again, it's going to be pretty big, guys. We have 1,100 of our red chests in here. We're going to go ahead and take this to a plus 30. And I'm going to park it here. So the plus 40, a lot of questions. Again, when an illusion is active. So again, this is when the hero ults, absorbs the energy lost by enemies due to paralyze, and transfers the energy to the allied hero with the highest total damage when the illusion collapses. So think about that. Absorbs the energy lost by enemies due to the paralysis. So if you're looking at the enemies being paralyzed, reduces the energy of essentially for 3 seconds, they're reducing the energy by 100 every second. If the lost energy is going back to a hero, if you have multiple heroes in there, that means you're going to just cap out the energy for an ultimate ability on the hero that has the highest total damage. This could make heroes ult much, much faster than we've seen in the past, which again is a really big reason why players are kind of looking at her. And again, it's kind of with a question mark, because PvP wise, that is going to be absolute game changer. To even thinking of a formation where Misha is in with Leica, the awakened version of Leica, or let's say even run in there with the awakened version of Athalia. If I can stun the entire formation, reducing the energy, giving it all to Leica or giving it all to Athalia, the ult is going to happen again. So literally, it's just going to be a very, very fast cycle. And if you do put some of the energy regeneration heroes that we now possess, this is going to be kind of crazy. It honestly is going to be kind of crazy with the hero itself, guys. But that is a lot of progression. Even looking here, Milion, again, plus 30 signature item, but that is adding some furniture on there. And of course, adding this in there. And of course, getting the 9 of 9. When Milion or an exemplar deals normal damage, they inflict an additional 120% health loss based on their combined attack rating. This effect can be triggered up to 5 times every 1 second. So again, when you think of a hero that is going to be kind of crazy when it comes to damage, this is going to make a big difference. And of course, we've been farming collections like mad. We need more copies of Gorgie in here. Pulino, we could actually finish out And of course, adding more, getting the engraving on Melion is going to make a big difference. So we made a ton of progression with the brand new hero. It's going to be interesting to see who is coming. So the rumor is, I know a lot of players were saying Hypo, but the rumor from Alfred Us and a couple other players are saying that it is going to be the Awakened Wilder that we are going to be seeing that is going to be fighting the Hypos that Dolly kind of mentions in the dialogue. So again, we're going to have to see exactly what this comes and what hero it's going to be. And I'm really hoping that it is a true Awakened hero. And honestly, in here, it would be interesting. It doesn't seem like they're going with the really old heroes. So thinking of like Kaz and Almas, Cirrus, Tassie, it doesn't seem like they're going with any of the really old heroes. So it almost makes me question if it's going to be like someone like Respin. That is kind of around the same time frame of what we see like a Baden or something of that nature. Not one of the more newer heroes that we've seen, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly what they're going to do. And even thinking of Solus, I know Leica's a little bit old, so again, it's going to be a question mark. But guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments who you think it is going to be for the Wilders, and as always, thank you guys for watching.